And so, beloved masters, greetings on this evening. And we come to talk to you about the experience of moving into inner consciousness with yourself. I would say the vast majority of humanity, whether they acknowledge or recognize what it is, are experiencing the inner connections, and it may feel very odd, very weird that you are experiencing yourself from the inside out. Most everyone has, for a long time, experienced themselves from their head, from their vision, from their hearing, from the perceptions of my interaction with other people, but not so much my feelings and experience of me in myself, because logic basically says that's just too weird, just too strange. It just isn't right that I should be inside of myself. And yet, dearly beloved masters, it is exactly where you were created to be. It is exactly what you were created to live, to know, to understand. And so, beloved masters, to feel into yourself, we talk about it all of the time. And yet, to talk about it and to say the words, to think about it, isn't the inner experience. To talk about it, to think about it, still calls your focus, calls your attention to the outer world. The feelings of what will they think of me? What will they say about me? But as you come much more into your inner self, you begin to recognize the difference between emotional response and feelings. When you are inside yourself, you can feel the push, the aggression, the trying energy, the attempt to get things done, the attempt to accomplish what you desire. But it is that push, that force, that trying to accomplish actually creates a lot of the emotional upsets that humanity is experiencing at this time. The harder you try, the more challenging it gets. The more you relax, the easier it is to accomplish. And so Dearly beloved masters, operating from the inside out, you began to become much more aware of how am I using my energy? How am I going about getting my life to work, to move forward? How does it feel to let go? What does that really mean? And from the inside, you began to recognize, even perhaps experience consciously, where you are resisting in your body, where you are holding back on your own forward motion, experiencing how you feel, but also how you react and how different the energy of reaction feels energetically inside of you. For reaction tends to move you into fight or flight. It moves you into a place of preparedness for some kind of conflict. Even if it turns out there is absolutely no conflict. It is you tense your muscles, you get ready, the adrenaline begins to flow, and when nothing happens, then you find yourself experiencing all that excessive energy that fight or flight can flood your system with when you are off and on all day long, constantly preparing for some kind of defense situation and activating your adrenals and activating your adrenals and activating your adrenals. And you're using up a lot of vitally important energy that when it is time, it will be very necessary. But when you're living in that fight or flight syndrome and you move inside of yourself, then you begin to notice from the inside how exhausted you can feel after an adrenaline rush. Oh, it prepares you to fight, and you are ready, but when there's nothing to use it for, then the adrenaline begins to burn away and you feel tired. Your body may feel heavy. It may feel as though you just don't care, or you haven't got the energy to go about your daily affairs. And so, psychologically, with all of the things that are going on in the outer world that may seem very random, and I would say that those that are perpetrating the acts that stir adrenaline rush may not even be consciously aware of what they're doing to the people of Earth. For, yes, we focus here on the United States for you, but it is that we are involved with people all over this planet. And the insanity of these times is really making people exhausted. They don't have as much ambition because they're so tired. And yet, inside of yourself, you can also begin to experience what being centered feels like. As you come to center and you focus on your heart, not just as an organ, but as a center of Christedness within you, a spiritual connection, an anchor of community from the inside out. Feeling that inner connection begins to assist you to remember just how unconditional love feels. Unconditional, with no judgments involved, no judgments on you, no judgments from you. And people come to their inner self exploring, and it feels weird. We've heard so many people on the planet say, well, I go inside of myself and it just feels so weird, that we decided to entitle this teaching Entering into the Inner Self Feels Weird, because you've lived out focused, facing the world. And as you move within, suddenly you're not just looking straight ahead or from side to side, but within you, you suddenly have a 360-degree awareness of the inner world. Because in the inner world that you access through the portal in the solar plexus, through your heart, you don't access it through the cranial brain. you enter in by focusing on the heart and visualizing a doorway into your solar plexus. That doorway may be anything that you desire. It may be a door to a small church. It may be the door to a great cathedral. But whatever the door you create, however plain or ornate you visualize it, it is your way into your inner self. It will, more often than not, open into some kind of a sanctuary, a church, a room that you feel comfortable in, a place where you can be absolutely with yourself, an altar where you can pray, where you can actually envision the things that you wish to let go of energetically, moving into a violet flame that burns on the altar of your inner sanctuary. Remember, this is your space. No one else creates this for you. Whatever you've been told, whatever you may have seen, this is your space of quiet, of unity, being at one with yourself, which certainly the outer world discourages at every turn. But in the inner space, being with yourself feels very natural once you get past how strange it is to actually be inside of yourself. Inside. Feeling me surrounding me. And yet, from that inner connection, weird as it is, strange as it may feel, you may experience loving yourself in a way that you have never thought about being loved. You, loving you. You, turning to you in love, in compassion, in truth, in clarity. You, in love with you. Feel it. Feel it. Experience a sense of being energetically embraced. You may think of I. You may think of the Master Jesus. You may call upon the goddess. But this is you experiencing the interpersonal ability to love yourself without feeling as though there's separation. For that inner connection is you embracing yourself. Beautiful, peaceful. If you are tense, then you get to assist yourself to relax, to feel a deep sense of peace descending on you in that quiet inner space where no one can come unless you invite them. It is your sacred space, your place to really know you, to feel into your body in a way that you cannot access through your logical mind, because the logical mind is outer focused. But as you enter into your inner temple, your inner sanctuary, your own sacred space, you can feel you. And you may feel your anxiety. You may feel your fear, your anger. You may feel it, but inside, you also can feel your higher self, your soul self. Those connections to the divine that, once again, the logical mind acknowledges as a thought, but not a reality. When humanity feels a divine connection, when they feel a holy experience, when they are lifted into a different space, that doesn't come from the logical mind. And it really doesn't even come from the energy of the outer world. It comes from, consciously or unconsciously, uniting with your inner self to hear the voice of God, to communicate with all of us that are here to serve you. Those of us that are here to love you as you were divinely created to be loved. How in the outer world you cannot find it. You may know you experienced it, but if you look to recreate an experience of sacred connection in the outer world, it will simply be frustrating. So, taking the time, meditation, but so often when very logical people decide to meditate, they're still thinking. They're still attempting to design a meditation, a guided meditation, perhaps listening to someone else speaking of a meditation, and yet finding that their mind wanders off looking for its own answers so that it can get to the end of the meditation before the narrator. But when you are within yourself, you can feel in that space the absolute unconditional love that belongs to you, that is yours. It isn't something you have to try to create. It's simply something for you to accept, to allow, to embrace, and yes, to allow yourself to be embraced. Feel, relax into the love. It's good if you can get into a comfortable place, an easy chair, or a comfortable couch where you can relax. The inner focus doesn't seek to escape like the outer mind does. So if you're meditating through your logical mind, very often you just drift off to sleep. But when you are connecting in a meditative way with your inner space, you may feel energetic signals, a flow of energy, a sense of peace that descends over you like a warm blanket. Yes, it lulls you. Yes, it relaxes you, but it also holds you in connection with yourself, where the logical mind so often is seeking to escape the affairs of the outer world. When you come home to yourself within, there is that draw, that desire to interconnect, to feel the amazing power of the sacred you, the true part of you. The logic is partly illusion. It always has been. And now many of the veils that have been put in place throughout eons of time are being not just pulled down, they're being yanked away. And you can see into the illusion, and yet the inner world allows you to sit quietly in the inner safety and observe what's going on in the outer world with the unconditional love that looks at that world as a part of yourself, that allows you to experience yourself, really feel yourself as a part of that world. To make a point each morning as you would awaken, rather than hitting the snooze button on the alarm and trying to sleep again. When you wake, allow yourself to direct your thoughts into your heart, your beautiful, amazing, exquisite heart. You look at your heart, not to see the organ, as I said, but in that area to see what your sacred heart looks like. We have talked about the 1,000-petaled lotus. We have talked about the sacred heart seed and the flower that it is becoming. But to connect within in a deeply energetically spiritual way and sending love out to the world, to the world, all around the world. You may, in your mind, envision a map, or you may envision a world on a stand. You may name all the different parts of the world to yourself to help you connect. You may write your name in pink letters. And as you are sending your love all around the world, you allow that name to just sprinkle down in love on the world. I love you. And after you've sent out the love, the violet flame, the white fire, the golden light, energies that you may choose to send, then you call the love to return to you from all of those hearts and souls that your love has touched, all around the world. There are many who have closed themselves up so tightly that as your love touches them, even though you may feel a moment of resistance, as the love touches them, tomorrow when you send out the love, they may open the door for it. And so you call the love back to you. And you take it in to your heart in love with the earth, your home, in love with the earth that God has created, in love with people. For so often in the war games of the outer world, people tend to forget that there are people in other countries because they focus on the war games, the cruelty, the war crimes that are committed by the leaders. And logic says, and they represent those people. And yet, in this country, in this time, there are many people who are beginning to realize that the leader is not a representative of who I am. So when you send out the love, yes, send it to all of the people, but allow yourself to integrate that I'm sending this love to people just like me. They may not look exactly like I do. They may not speak in a language I understand. They may not be creating in a way that I would think is the right way. And yet, as I open my heart and allow my love to touch them, and then allow their love to come back, I began to feel the love and move away from the limit and the lack of logic that says you cannot love them because they are different. But they are all different. And you are different. But you're different in the divine. When you began to commit to the inner presence, the inner communication, that acknowledgement that the Christedness dwells within me. God, Goddess, watch over me from this inner space. I am connected to the harmony, the peace, the abundance, the well-being. I am connected to beings that are here and always have been, but they're just now beginning to be revealed. I connect to the beings from other places in this star system, in this universe. I connect with the souls of those that are even more different than what I might find here. I connect. I feel the love that many of them are bringing to Earth in this time as they have come from light years away to be with Earth as she is birthing into a new becoming. And your soul agreed to be here. So there's no mistake that you are here. There is nothing that is wrong with your being here or you that you are here. For in the logical outer world, many minds are chattering away about what a fool I was to come here, and I must have made a mistake. I was supposed to go to some other planet, and I wound up here by accident. No, because in the divine, dearly beloved masters, there are no accidents. Divine plan does not take away your free will. In fact, divine plan is that you have the free will to make your choices. And yet, on this planet, in this time of transformation, of evolution, of revelation, so many have chosen to give their power away to someone else. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to do it. And logic doesn't really know what to do or how to do it any more than you do. And so, feeling the desperation of I'm asking and there doesn't seem to be any immediate response because logic has programmed into the mind that when you ask, it's like picking up your phone and making a call to the divine and saying, this is what I want. When will my order be delivered? But, dearly beloved Master, working with divine energy is not an on-demand situation. It is the opening of self to an expanded awareness in which you begin to remember, I am a divine creative master. I am a divine magician. I am that I am. And in this very month of April, here in the year of 2026, there is an absolutely energy boggling formation coming on the 17th of April. Aries, the sign of the mind. I am Aries, the sign of new beginnings, a fresh start, a new way of being. And on the 17th of April, there will be 10 aspects in the sign of Aries. New beginnings, a powering of energy that, like fire, can cleanse away a lot of the old things that humanity has not wanted to let go of. It won't burn you, but it will enlighten you. It won't destroy you unless you let your fear dominate. It will change you. So the logical mind says, well, tell me about how that change is going to be. And I can honestly say it's going to be really big. It's going to be mighty. Its transformative nature is going to be something that Earth has not experienced before. The last time the Earth was transmuted, it was with water. And the prognostication that has come from many different places all over the planet is that the next cleansing would be by fire. But it is that there was a planet called Maldek that used nuclear weapons, and it destroyed the planet. And in that time, throughout the heavens, God, Goddess, all that is, and beings all over this universe made a commitment, an agreement that that would never be allowed to happen again. So a lot of the fiery energy is going to be the heat of cleansing your emotions. Forgive yourself for judging yourself so harshly and allow the violet flame, which doesn't burn, but it transmutes, it transcends. Spiritual alchemy, the white light of God. It does not burn, but it cleanses and purifies. The essence of fire can also be the enthusiasm with which you choose to meet what's coming. The energy that you will feel within yourself. I am ready to participate in what is coming. I'll be there. Father, Mother, God, I will be there to be a part of the changes, because as a soul, I came here for this time. And as a soul, I wouldn't have missed this for the world. The birthing of a planet into a new becoming. And so feel it from the inside, where you experience it with the light of love, with the passion of creation, with a desire to bring wholeness and unity to the earth through your own understanding. You can't change the planet. You can't force other people to follow your desires. Oh, you could. You certainly see it going on out there. But that isn't a loving thing. That isn't a gifting thing. That is the intense fire of a rage against humanity from a wounded soul that has no real concept of what is being set in place. You can fear. No one's going to stop you. But you are the only one that can make sure that you don't give your precious creative power to fires of destruction through fear. For as you hold the fire of creation in your heart, in your soul, you will find the courage, the determination, the creative imagery. Even as you are inside of yourself, you begin to access the tools that God gave each soul in the beginning. Amazing tools. Imagination, yes. And logic has basically just, as they say on Earth, blown off imagination. It was nothing, just your imagination. And yet, if you can image it, you can bring it about. So if your imagery is focusing on war, on fire and destruction, on all the terrible things that can occur, then you are imagining a future that you really do not wish to be a part of. So in these times, as you come within, you begin to realize how powerful you are. You begin to remember the tools that you were given. And in the inner space, which actually, beloved masters, is much, much larger than the world that you're living in. And in that inner space, you can begin to retrieve what you have given away. You never lost it, but you have given it away to get things in the outer world that are temporal. They don't last very long. And yet you've paid a very high price many times, over many lifetimes, to get something that was vitally important in the outer world. But as you come inside, you find other things that are comparable within, and yet so much grander, so much more lasting, so much greater, bigger, more beautiful. And they're yours to access. But it requires that you inside seek to find your faith. The faith that is what actually this blast from Aries is going to bring. It will help to restore that inner fire, the heart flame, the soul light, the essence that empowers you, you as a part of God's creation, you who are uniquely made to bring about wonderful things. You and approximately 8 billion other souls. Yet there are many that will choose at this time to leave. And it isn't because they are running away. It's because many will begin to feel, as you are moving into this time, my part of this creation, what I have given, what I have brought to set the stage, so to speak, that's complete. And I will step away. And it is that there is no suicide to it. It is an inner realization that I've given the gift that I came to give. I have fulfilled my purpose for this journey. That doesn't mean you're done for the end of time, but it means that by your contract with the divine, you have succeeded. And there will be many that are being born that are coming with an understanding of where all of this will go. the children that have been born since the year 1920, or 2020, rather, excuse me. And those little children that the logical mind very often just dismisses have brought in a level of wisdom and understanding of the inner connection that far exceeds many of those who believe that they are great minds in this place. And those children will refuse to comply to what their parents want to impose on them. And they may be labeled rebels. But many are so sweet and so confident and so joyful that even if they don't find a place in their biological family, they will begin to look for their cosmic family. And more, as you come home to your inner self, you will begin to find your cosmic family. Logic has said this is your biological family and you must love them. You must do what they say. You must comply to their wishes. You must fit. So we have billions of people who don't feel like they fit where they were born. They made a soul agreement to come and be with a certain group of people, quite frequently for karmic balance. For in these times, karma of lifetimes is being balanced. And that is not a punishment. That is a restoration of harmony and love and compassion that the earth has stepped away from. Personal karma brings balance in situations that you have encountered over lifetimes. Global karma is a balance of what has been set asunder for lifetimes. And it's a monumental time of healing, of letting go. And so to feel within yourself the ease, how easy it is to begin to let go. And inside, the astounding discovery of how hard your logical mind is fighting letting go. Because logic believes that you are your things, that you are your money, that you are your goods, your house, your car, your stocks, your bonds. But as you commit to spending time in your inner space, in learning to live from the inside out. And when you encounter the resistances of the outer world attempting to deny you access to your own sacred space within, it will feel like trying. It will feel like attempting to figure out what to do. What do I do about this? Nothing. Allow it. Turn it over to spirit. That isn't dumping your responsibilities on something else or someone else, because as you let go, you move into the recognition of the sacred flow of life, and you begin to really understand the gift you came to give, why you are here. To feel it, not to furrow your brow and try to imagine what it would be like, but to really experience inside of you, you being with you. How amazing, how wondrous, how powerful you are, dearly, dearly beloved masters. And so, as you experience the inner self, as you feel you, as you feel for you, not pity or sorrow, for one of the things that this huge blast of Aryan new beginnings is going to bring, it is going to burn away the refuge of victimization that the Piscean age has laid out all through lifetimes for the last 2,600 years. A victim. I'm a victim to others. They made me do it. And Aries says, I am. I am that I am. I am fully, I am wisely, I am clearly, I am compassionately the sole creator of my life with the divine. Because when you really operate in the realms of your mastery, it isn't about dominance and control. It's about a pure, amazing, astounding, expanded revelation of your own capabilities. Yes, to bring destruction if you choose. But remember that karma is not conditional. Karma is simply a law of balance. things are out of balance, and karma begins to set them right, bringing balance, bringing new land where there was an ocean, and seeing land that has been for so long descend beneath the sea. And you, dearly beloved divine creative masters, being shown from the inside, this is not a logic problem, and it isn't about solutions. It's about being open to receive the depth of awareness and understanding that is yours. It's in you. You won't find it out in the world. You will find it energetically within. So, approximately 10 days away, there's going to be this great planetary configuration with Pluto on one side in Aquarius and Uranus on the other side, just preparing to return to the sign of Gemini on the 26th of April. So this is a month of turning. It is perhaps one of the most vital months in this year. The month of July, right after the summer solstice. There will be many things that will occur as all of the planets will be moving direct. And all of the planets will be firmly installed in the new signs that they will be moving in for the next few years. The big outer planets that basically define the karma of humanity are working together. Saturn and Neptune sit in sextile to Pluto and Uranus. Pluto says it is done, it is finished, and there is no going back. And Uranus says it will be completely different. And Neptune calls on humanity to delve into their inner selves and feel all the help, all the empowerment, all of the great cosmic essence that literally is at your fingertips as you are willing. It cannot be wielded like a weapon, but it can be brought into your inner laboratory to create wonderful new things. A lot of this energy is electric. A lot of it deals with the human nervous system and the way that the human physical form functions, because there will be enlightening in your physical form, a discovery, perhaps the general understanding that Oxygen is very necessary on the earth, but in order to be very healthy, the inner body requires hydrogen. And it is, beloved masters, humanity has had access through the food supply, through the air, less and less access to hydrogen as a general balanced intake. To be really healthy, the inner organs must be nourished with things that will stimulate the digestion and dissemination of what you take in. So the question of what are you taking in? And even the question, beloved masters, how much plastic do you take into your physical form? Because it's quick and it's easy. But as you love yourself from the inside out, you'll use your divine creative imagination to discover ways to be more healthy. Drinking lots of water, but is the water pure? People may drink glass after glass of water from the tap in a city, and they are getting chemicals. Not only the chlorine that is put in the water for purification, but how many people in a city take their old drugs and flush them down the toilet right into the city water supply. So everyone can have some of their outdated pharmaceuticals. Coming home to self, operating from the inside out, will help you to be more consciously aware, more present right here, right now, rather than mentally attempting to escape what's going on in the illusion. You will be lovingly, powerfully, divinely present with yourself to care more for you, but also to be aware that you are much more capable of assisting others if you are willing to share, which means I share with them and they share with me. And the superiority of the logical mind says, well, those people don't have anything I want. But as you change your inner awareness, you begin to remember, to recognize the absolute value that everyone has. They may not acknowledge it. They may not believe it. You probably don't believe it about yourself. But remembering and discovering and applying what God gave you when you came here to begin this journey so long ago that no one can remember when it began. And as far as anyone can figure, they have no idea if it will ever end. And so, beloved masters, this is now. This is the moment. Today, this is where you, if you are willing, can begin to let go of what you've been holding on to and allow yourself to receive the essence, the energy of divine love within for yourself. Father, Mother, God, show me the way. Not, Father, Mother, God, get over here and I'll tell you what I want. But, Spirit, lead me. Not as a victim that must be told what to do, but more, dearly beloved masters, as the sacred fool. That absolute innocent that has such deep wisdom because he or she has not turned away from the ways of the vastness of the inner world to get caught in the limited perspective of the outer world. And so even though being inside of you feels weird, it is a practice to develop, because the more you spend time with yourself, the more you will know things that you didn't have any idea existed. The more you will understand how to let go of things that, even though you feel the pain of the egoic emotions, you know in your heart of hearts, deep in your soul, that those things will no longer serve you. And what has been, much of it, cannot go where you will now be moving. It's happening all around you, and you're still here to listen to I. So, as you hold the intention of safety and security and the courage to move through things that your logical mind tells you you don't have the ability to move through, to experience the absolute grandeur of the self-awareness of your God-created spirit. And so dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative magicians, your magic is divine. The wonder of you is magnificent. You are an amazing being. And so, in the love that we carry for each and every one of you, I avow to you that we will continue to be with you. We simply invite you to be much more with yourself. Until we meet again, in whatever manner that may be, I see you, and I will not look away. Indeed.